Well, I want to welcome you to what's going on in District 31. We got a great episode today. As always, I'm your host, State Representative Troy Hebert, proudly represent District 31. Thank you for allowing me to do this and to service our wonderful district. As you know, we've been bringing you insight through the year where we've talked about rural broadband that's happened. We've had great conversations with business owners. We had a wonderful Thanksgiving episode with Hebert's Specialty Meats and Turduckens. We've kept you updated on what happened in this legislative session. But now that we're out of session, we're back in the district. And we've got an exciting, really phenomenal segment here for you today. I'm sitting with David Hoke, who is a partner in team management and consulting and Safe Park Technology. They're here in Lafayette, right off of Highway 167, Johnson Street, whatever you want to call it. But I want to talk to you, not on them, I'm now also about their business, but David's doing some phenomenal work that we really want to highlight. So David, let's just start off. Tell us about team management and consulting and Safe Park Technology, and let us know about what you guys do.
Yeah, Team Management and Consulting is a project management company that we service the oil and gas industry, upstream, midstream, and downstream. We have project managers and inspectors from Washington State to New Jersey and in the Gulf of Mexico. Safe Arc Technology is a safety company, and we actually have a pressurized welding enclosure that actually allows platforms and facilities to continue going hot and use our system to be able to, so they don't have to shut in, which keeps production, and it's a safer way of doing it, whether they shut in or not. So that's what Safe Park Technology does. And we work in the Gulf of Mexico, we work on land, we work in LNG facilities, and actually we worked international as well.
Okay, how long have you been in business?
Since 2012, Safe Park Technology, and 2008, Team Management and Consulting.
Okay, how many employees?
Team Management has 40-something employees, and Safe Park has about almost 50.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, you must be doing some good work if you're still in business and you're expanding, and we appreciate what you do. I'm sure your employees do as well. Look, the LNG, oil and gas industry is still very important to this region. Employs a lot of people, and I know a lot of us in the legislature have been very supportive of that industry and will continue to do so. In fact, in this last session, I did pass a bill that was inside the oil and gas industry arena. So I was happy to support that. But David, we got a much better story than that, huh?
Oh, yes.
So I first was introduced to David through this amazing Bible. In my first legislative session, I went to my desk and found this Bible with a sticky note that had my name on it. And when I opened it up, it was beautifully engraved with my name and the House of Representatives seal. And this Bible came to all of the House of Representatives and Senators. Josh Carlson, Representative Carlson, who is a friend of yours. Tell us a little bit about how that Bible got on my desk in March of
2024. Yes. So I had given about 15,000 Bibles away prior to Josh Carlson and Kelly Carlson was in a service where I was actually giving 2,000 life applications, Spanish study Bibles to Dominican Republic for pastors over there who didn't have good Bibles, or some of them didn't even have a Bible. And Pastor Joe Cormier at, I think, First Assembly in Youngsville had put all those Bibles on the stage. And they took them out the box. They placed them, you're talking about 5 tons of Bibles. And in that session, Kelly, Josh's wife, was sitting there and she seen all those Bibles. And she reached over to Josh and said, "Do you think David would want to give a Bible to every lawmaker before Resurrection Sunday, which was 2 weeks away?" Mm-hmm. So Josh texted me. And when I seen it, I said, "How many?" He says 144. I said, "Yeah, we'll get it done." And so within 2 weeks, we actually went in, got all your names, put the seal on it, and on March 30th of 2024, mm-hmm. Josh Carlson, his kids, and myself actually placed those Bibles on your desk in the chambers.
That's amazing. Listen, as a man of faith, when I got this, I was moved by it. It sat on my desk through that entire session, and and in this session, I got to my desk, and there was a beautifully engraved Bible, just like mine, with my wife's name on it. And so every legislator's wife received one of these Bibles in this session. Um, Tell me the story. I believe now you have understanding the word ministries, and tell me about your objective through that ministry of what you're trying to accomplish with this Bible, where they've been, who's getting them. Um, Listen, this is phenomenal. I mean, obviously God has spoken to you, and you have a passion and a strong faith and conviction to get something done, and to spread the word with these Bibles, and so maybe tell us what you've done with them and where you're still going with them.
Yeah. So around 2015, I was actually going through a custody battle with my kids, and I had this particular Bible, and I was reading it, and I was reading it a lot. And through that process, I just started reading the Bible a lot. And around 2020, when the pandemic or whatever they want to call it happened, right? We were all at home, and instead of watching television, instead of watching the news, I said, you know what? I'm going to read the Bible just as much as I'm watching a movie right now. So I just started reading. And my brother was coming to my house in the morning, and we were reading the letters of Paul together. And I left my Bible on my desk here. And I had to grab a different Bible that particular morning. And when I grabbed a different Bible, I was like, man, how do you know Paul's in prison when he wrote this letter? Because this Bible tells you all that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, man, so then I flipped over and I started looking around. I was like, man, you don't even know that Luke is the only Gentile to write in the New Testament. Mm-hmm. And that's when God revealed to me what he had given me for the last 6 years. And he said, what I've given you is I want you to give to any and all seekers in the world and whoever the Holy Spirit leads you. And I said, yes, sir. So then I got one, then I got two. And then as the process started going, I was going to Mardell. I was putting foil stamps on it where it just had their name. And I'd pray and let the Spirit lead me to put what Bible verse we put on it.
Yeah.
And around 2021, I came across engraving. And when I came across engraving, I looked at it and I said, wow. I said, I could put anything on these Bibles. So they had a guy from Lafayette, and I was making him a Bible. And he goes to Reds a lot. So I said, man, I'm going to put a muscle man on there, So I put that on the Bible, and then I had a carpenter that was working on a house. I put a carpenter on the Bible. And then that's when God just started revealing to me that I need to make every Bible, the Bible special by itself, but to make every Bible as special as we can for the individual. So we went above and beyond for each person. So around 22, I wound up, I was sourcing the engraving out, which the lady couldn't keep up. I had like 100 Bibles in the queue, and I was giving her 30 at a time, and she couldn't keep up with the 30. And so I was like, okay. So I prayed about it, and then God led me. He had just gave me my business partner just gave me half of the businesses that I had been running for 10 years, and the businesses took off. And I knew that a lot of people were saying, "Oh, God's blessing you," and I knew He was providing the resources for what He put on my heart. So the first thing I bought was that machine. I had to wind up putting that double door in there just to get the machine in because it was so big.
It's a big machine.
Yeah. And I went to my daughter, and she was graduating at UL, and I said, would you want to do the engraving if I bought this machine? And she was like, oh, yeah. So I was like, okay, I just want to check because I didn't want to assume. Well, she just started engraving, hit the ground running, and we have never not had hundreds, if not thousands. Like right now, I got about 50,000 Bibles on the list that I need to do.
So how many states that you have currently sent these Bibles to the legislature and the executive branch?
Yes. So we've sent 35. We've delivered 35 states. But Louisiana, when we delivered those Bibles on your desk on March 30th of 2024, about a month later, Louisiana voted to put the 10 Commandments in the classroom. Governor Jeff Landry signed it into law in June of 2024. When I was going back to another representative from New Orleans Candace Newell.
Mm-hmm.
Her name was misspelled wrong on the Bible. And I went there and I brought the Bible, and she came out and she said, David, she said, I prayed and asked God to give me a Bible that I could understand. And the next week, that Bible was on my desk when you got yours. Wow. And I said, well, he did more than that, because I actually started tabbing the Bibles off. Like you seen your wife's Bible, it was tabbed off. Every Bible has that, a minimum of those tabs. And I gave it to her, and she got emotional, and she said, can I hug you? And I said, yeah. And when I left the Capitol that day, I was heading to Toledo Bend, and just God started working with me. And he says, you got it wrong. He said, you're praying for Christians. You're praying for Republicans and Christians to get in office. You need to be praying for the people who are in office to become a follower of me. And that's the only way change is going to happen. And I said, yes, sir. And he said, what I had you do in Louisiana, I want you doing in all 50 states. And again, I'm addicted to saying yes to him. So I said, yes, sir. And it was, I yielded for about 5 months. And then I got the green light and the connections out of 41 out of the 50 states on one night at Louisiana Family Forum when I was giving Governor Jeff Landry his Bible. Gene Mills actually said, hey, look, I'll get you connected with 41 out of the 50 states. And the next day I came in here and I ordered 3,000 Bibles and started printing the Bibles. And so since then we have almost all 50 states printed, but 35 out of the 50 states have been delivered in their hands across the United States.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know, in talking with you, I also love the fact that you're open to all faith-based experiences, not being a Catholic, but going through Acts.
Yes.
And myself, not only have gone through it, a Team 6, and probably one of the greatest experiences I was ever given was to direct one and to lead men through that journey. But there are a lot of men and women inside District 31, from Lafayette all the way down to Abbeville, that have gotten on fire through that faith-based experience. And but I appreciate you and your openness and willingness to experience all different aspects of that, you know. And I think that that could be a lot why maybe God's put that on your heart, right?
Yes.
To do this.
Yes. It was probably 15 years ago. I remember, getting in a conversation with someone about religion. And, I was like, hey, I respect your religion. I respect mine. And, we kind of got into it, right? 15 years ago, just a discussion. And the next day, God revealed to me, he says, I don't want you to ever argue about me again. He says, I only want you to stand on the truth. And he's the truth. It's not A, B, C, or D. I'm the truth. And if you stand on me, then you're good. And I haven't argued in over 15 years, had a discussion. I've had deep discussions with all religions. Mm-hmm. There are Muslims in states receiving the Bibles because I don't even have the R and the D. I don't have the party affiliation where it's like, oh, well, will they receive it or they won't? I'm just doing it. He told me to do it, I'm doing it. And because I'm doing it, I'm seeing things that I would have never saw. I'm talking about Hindus receiving the Bible, gays and transgenders receiving the Bibles and telling the person that's giving it to them, saying, this is the greatest gift anyone's ever given me, thank you. That you wouldn't even think that would even be a possible, because you'd be like, well, will I offend that person if I gave him a Bible? I'm just doing what he told me to do. And because of that, I've had conversations, and I have, just deep connections with people, because it's not about a religion anymore. It's about him. And if you stand on him, it don't matter what, are you a follower of the Messiah, Catholic? That's what matters, because there's a lot of people who are Catholics, Baptists, whatever religion they are, but are they truly following him? And if they are, that's what matters. And that's what he told me.
And I think you hit the nail on the head when you said you stopped arguing and debating, and you started utilizing this to open up conversations. Mm-hmm. And I think that, in politics and in life, we tend to not have conversations sometimes.
That's right.
As much, we want to debate and we want to argue, but I think if we're all open to more conversations, and we could probably do a lot more than we're achieving today.
That's right.
David, any other thing you want to talk about related to Understanding the Word Ministries and anything else you got going in that arena?
Yeah. So, so once I'm almost done with the states, all 50 states, we're going to do Congress by November. So we'll have, I've done a lot of people in Congress, but God was so clear to me, this change is going to come from the states, then DC. Everyone's looking at Louisiana, then DC, but there's 50 Louisianas. So that's why he made me focus on 7,500 lawmakers across the states.
Right.
There's only about 600 or 700 in DC, right? But after that, throughout that process, I'm almost done with it, and he revealed to me to do all the world leaders in the world. So all 195 nations, we're actually doing every world leader. So we just did Dominican Republic, and it was a hit.
Wow.
The president received his, and then they wound up doing a special day 1 month ago and gave all of them out to Congress. And it was a hit. Now we're doing Honduras, about to do El Salvador, going to continue doing all nations. Every nation is going to receive on the federal level, because the state level, even on the federal level, that's 46,522 lawmakers that we have to do. So that's a big project. But I want to back up. We do Louisiana Teen Challenge. We do Little League teams. We, UL's, all the UL athletes have received the Bible. I had a guy that came to me, was wanting me to give it to the graduates, of UL. And I said, I'm not led to do that. I said, I'm led to do it when they start, because they might not graduate. So it started with the football team. I did the whole football team. And then we wound up doing all student athletes. That's about 550 student athletes that we do every year. And the ones who received it the year before, we don't give them another one. But the new ones coming in, we're going to always have them. I'm working with Governor Bill Lee of Tennessee, which is amazing. He's an amazing guy. And we're going to start doing prisons. And we're going to start in Tennessee.
Well, that's a great
and
place to have
when we
a Bible.
put this Bible with their name on it, because I work with prison ministries and I feed Bibles all over the place. We've given over 40,000 in the last 3 years. But what he revealed to me is we could put this Bible in the hand of a prisoner in a cell, whether he's on death row or in his jail cell, and it's from him to them. And then it's personalized. That's going to be a game changer. It's going to change this country. So Governor Bill Lee is going to work with me on doing that. We've done one for Jelly Roll. I gave one to him to give to Jelly Roll, because he actually gave Governor Bill Lee pardoned Jelly Roll back in December.
Okay.
He wasn't in jail, but he fell in the offer.
Yeah,
so
correct.
And we've done a lot of people's Bibles that but the big thing is always having the personal factor.
Yeah.
But just to finish off with Louisiana's house with the spouses. So this was a great thing that happened. I want to say probably about 6 months ago. He revealed to me that he wanted me to do all the spouses, okay? Because the spouses go through so much. Y'all go through a lot, okay? People don't realize what y'all go through because you're local, right? You'll see Trump and you'll see Jeff Landry, but people don't see what y'all go through because it's kind of local. Y'all not on a national stage, right? However,
but our wives do see social media comments.
No.
And the attacks, and they have to deal.
But y'all don't go through it on it. People don't see the 7,500 of y'all that y'all actually go through a lot. Your spouses go through even more because it hurts them for what they see on a local standpoint that people don't. So that's when he revealed to me that what I had to do for the lawmakers, I want you to do for not only Louisiana, but all 7,500 spouses across the United States. It had to start in Louisiana because Louisiana started in 2024, right?
Yeah.
And then I had to finish this assignment. So it was the last week of session that I was working with a couple of groups to try to get this done. And finally I said, you know what? I know every state house now. I know how to get these Bibles to anyone and everyone. So I called and I worked with the Senate side. I worked with, and then actually Representative Edmonds' wife, Cindy.
Yeah.
She helped out. You know, and was able to get it done and get these Bibles in the hands of y'all. And that is even more special in some cases than the people receiving the Bibles. And I got another one. Is it Marcel from Baton Rouge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Marcel.
So she was one who reached out and asked for some additional Bibles in 2024. Mm-hmm. Well, it was recently that we found out that she lost her grandson. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to her when I went there to deliver some Bibles, and we found out that she really wanted that Bible for her grandson, but the mother, rightfully so, wanted the Bible. So I made her a replica, and I actually took a picture that she had put a billboard out for her grandson and put that on the Bible and gave that to her about 2 months ago.
That's
So there's
amazing.
just so many good things that roll off of this.
So, which brings me to a question. So many people are going to see this, right? And they're going to hear about all the these Bibles. And what happens if someone says, "Man, I want one of these Bibles"?
Yes. So if they want one of those Bibles, they reach out to us. We're working on the website. They should be able to do it now.
Would they come in under Understanding the Word Ministries?
Understand the Word Ministries. It's understandthewordministries.org. We don't sell Bibles. Okay.
Right.
He's very clear to me. I can't sell Bibles. That's Lee Greenwood and Trump. They're gonna sell them Bibles.
But you can support the ministry.
But you can sow into the ministry. You can sponsor Bibles, and that's what we're encouraging people to do now: is to sponsor Bibles for individuals, sponsor Bibles for Little League teams, which is a very big passion of mine right now. I mean, you can see right here, the Little League teams just getting the Bibles, and these are Boy Life Application Study Bibles. So you could sponsor a Little League team, but you can go to understandtheword.org. You can reach out to us. You can, on the website, it's a 501c3, so you can give on the website, whether it be through giving online or writing a check and sending it to the address, or just coming in and partnering with us. Because if you partner with us, it's not like you even have to just sow into it. You can actually sponsor, and you're actually getting a Bible, a product that you're actually putting in the hands that's going to change people's lives.
Well, David, if there's one thing I take away from today, is I'll repeat it: less arguing, more conversations. That's how we solve problems. That's how we move forward in the state of Louisiana and in our glorious country. David, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy day, and I can't thank you enough for this ministry and this conviction that God's put on your heart. You're a wonderful man. God bless you, and thank you for your time today. District 31, this is an amazing episode. Happy to have had this wonderful discussion. Read your Bible. Less arguments, more conversations. As always, thank you for the ability to do this, serve District 31, and I'll see you around the district.